back and said, the bark of the puppies will not disturb this lion of Vedanta. He roared, the bark of the puppies will not disturb the lion of Vedanta. They had to silence themselves. And he continued for the next 2 hours. And he comes back to India. And somebody asked him, after living in the luxurious, most developed cities and places in the West, how do you look at India? The very inspiring words that he said was, well, before I went to the West, I loved India dearly. After coming back from the West, every dust particle of India is holy to me. It is a place of pilgrimage. And he lands in a place in Ramnad, in the cornermost district of Tamil Nadu, just near the ocean, near the Indian Ocean. Dhanushkodi, Rameshwaram, speaks in Rameshwaram, speaks on the worship of Shiva, and he says Shiva will be more pleased by worshipping him in the beggar. Worship him, Shiva, and the living people there. Then he comes to Ramnad, the district headquarters. His beloved disciple, Bhaskar Setupati, the Raja of Ramnad, was waiting near the shore to receive his guru, his master. India awoke from her sleep. India awoke. He was made to sit in a horse carriage, the Raja's carriage, huge one, with 4 white horses leading the carriage, drawing the carriage. Just before the horseman, the Sarathi, could whip, the Raja said, stop, 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 don't move. They thought something had gone wrong in the arrangements. Raja would fire somebody. He said, what have you done? All were still and silenced. Remove the horses. How will the horse carriage go? The Raja of Ramnad, Bhaskar Setupati, said, I will pull the carriage. Remove the horses. Barefoot, the Maharaja himself is drawing the chariot of a penniless beggar, a sannyasi, who didn't own anything at all. Vivekananda was in tears. Maharaja, what are you doing? Yes, I am doing to my master. I am doing to my God. So what? And from that seashore up to the palace, all through the streets, Maharaja, his minister, his people all pulled the chariot, keeping Vivekananda in that. And in the meeting, a huge pandal was organized, a public reception was given, all this is recorded in the life of Vivekananda in detail. Bhaskar Setupati was sitting on the dais, on the ground. Vivekananda is sitting on the throne. After all the reception and formalities, everything over, India woke up. Vivekananda got up from his seat. I want all of you to read that lecture. The first lecture, official lecture which he gave on Indian soil. I'll just quote the first paragraph, which I learned it when I was a student, 27 years ago. The longest night seems to be passing away. The sorest trouble seems to be coming to an end at last. The seeming corpse appears to be awaking. India, this motherland of ours. Only the blind cannot see. Only the perverted cannot see that this motherland of ours is waking from a deep, long sleep. None can resist her anymore. Never is she going to sleep anymore. No outward powers can hold her back anymore, for the infinite giant is rising to her feet. This is the first paragraph of that lecture. Taking this imagery, Vivekananda telling India is rising from her sleep, the big giant, as it were, can visualize. They're all scientists, can do some visualization. Romarola, the great French writer, he came to India to write a biography on Mahatma Gandhi. He met Rabindranath Tagore in Shantiniketan, and Tagore said, my dear friend, if you want to know India, study Vivekananda. In him everything is positive, nothing negative. Study him first. And instead of writing a biography on Mahatma Gandhi, Romarola wrote 2 biographies, one on Guru Ramakrishna and another on his master and disciple Vivekananda. Both are masterpieces in French literature today. And that has been translated into English. And in the introduction, Romarola says, using this imagery of Vivekananda telling a seeming corpse appears to awaken, he compares it to Jesus Christ's incident. How a writer could visualize, very interesting. He says in the Bible, Mary and Martha, two sisters, run to Jesus with tears and says their brother Lazarus is dead, is buried. They cannot live without him. Please do something, Father. And Christ says, where is he buried? Take me there. Christ goes to the tomb of dead Lazarus. Mary and Martha in sorrow. They want their brother back. And Christ, as it were, miracle as it were, he says, dead Lazarus, come back to life. The tomb opened and the dead Lazarus comes back to life and walks with Mary and Martha. Romarola takes this imagery and says, as Vivekananda said, the seeming corpse appears to be awaking, India is awaking from her sleep. I remember this, India wakes. But he makes a very interesting remark. Later on, I am sorry to say, he says, India awoke from a deep, long sleep in 1947, only to turn the other side and sleep again. And he travels, Swamiji travels. Again, in a different way now. That time, before going to America, unknown, uncared for, beggar, and just with a vision. No friends, nobody else. But here, the whole country awoke. Because America recognized, America appreciated. That was the problem which Vivekananda says. If Tyndall, Huxley, Darwin, everybody says, you will accept him without a salt. And if I say, you will turn the other side. What a weak mind you have. That's why he used to say, strength is life and weakness is death. But he saw a different India. Mother India awoke from her sleep. Kumbakonam, the temple town in Tamil Nadu. He gives a masterpiece lecture called The Mission of Vedanta. One paragraph I quote from there, which you will appreciate, and which is so poetical, where Romarola says, Vivekananda's words are great music. Phrases in the style of Beethoven, like the March of Handel choruses. I cannot read these sayings of his of 30 years distance without an electric shock passing through every vein in my body. And what shocks and what transports might have gone when they were issued from the burning lips of the hero. That was Romarola's observation of Vivekananda's words when he was reading, not just listening. And in that Kumbakonam lecture, in one of the paragraphs, there are many, it's a 2-hour lecture, he says, "O children, teach yourselves, teach everyone his real nature. Call upon the sleeping soul and see how it awakes. Power will come, glory will come, goodness will come, purity will come, everything that is excellent will come when the sleeping soul is roused to self-conscious activity." What a masterpiece, oration and English and thoughts over Vedanta and our personality. Teach yourself, teach everyone. And when you do that, he says in that lecture, a cobbler will become a better cobbler, a student will become a student, a lawyer will become a better lawyer, a scientist will become a better scientist, a housewife will become a better housewife. Things will grow not from error to truth, from lesser truth to higher truth, because we are the children of the immortals. And Kumbakonam onwards, he travels down to Madras. 9 days he stays. People celebrated it as Navaratri in Chennai at that time. They knew their prophet had come. They knew their master had come. People thronged to the railway station, only to just have a glimpse of their beloved leader. And thousands, in the very first lecture, mind you, the Victoria Hall where he spoke is still there near Central Railway Station, preserved by a group of people who knew the value of it, because their Tilak spoke, their Mahatma Gandhi spoke, their Vivekananda spoke. People thought that they would listen to spirituality, they would listen to God, they would listen to mantras and tantras because Vivekananda was a spiritual man. To their amazement and to their surprise, Vivekananda says in that lecture, put all vain gods to sleep. There, for the next 50 years, there should be only one God before you. That one God is India. 1897, February 9th, Vivekananda speaks. For the next 50 years, Mother India shall be our God. Whatever you do, whatever you read, whatever you think, should be for the good of India. Nothing else would satisfy him. And in the entire life, in the history, when he